Okay, welcome back to video number 3 of the Django blog series. So in this particular video, we're going to be doing the comments for the blog post. Understand? So we want to make sure that each blog post have its own comment. So you're able to add comments to a particular blog post. Understand? So we're going to work on that right now. So we're going to go down to our models.py file and create a model class for the comments. So let's do that right away. Okay, go down to your models.py. So we're going to move to the models.py file. So now we're going to create a class for our comments. I'm going to call this class. I'm going to call it comments. Okay, so I'm going to say models. That's model. We're going to have just two attributes. The first one is for the post. So I'm going to connect to the posts class we have up here. We're going to simply say models. That means a post can have many comments, and a post can have many comments. Understand? So I'm going to use foreign keys to connect to the post model, to the post class. I'm going to say models dot foreign key should be, I'm going to say posts. So never delete a particular post. So I want to make sure that all the comments gets deleted. So I'm going to simply say on delete should be equal to cascade. So that's it. Now I'm going to add the comment itself. I'm going to simply call this text, or let's call it body. The body of the comment should be equal to models dot text field. So that's what we need to do now. So we are going to simply put down the string. We're going to simply say def xt double underscore xtr double underscore self. So I'm going to return self dot body. So that's it now. So we're going to run migrations now. So now we're going to run migrations, make migrations. So now after that, we run the next command, python manage.py migrates. So the migrations have run. So let's run python manage.py migrates. So all that done, so we're going to run server python manage.py run server 8001. So now we're going to make sure. So we're going to register our comments to the admin.py file. So don't forget to do that whenever you create a new class, a new model class. So we're going to simply copy this, change this to comments. It's also import comments. So that's all we need to do now. So after doing that now, so I'm going to go down to our views.py file. So what I want to do is this. Now I want to get all the comments for a particular blog post, not all the comments for the blog, all the comments for a specific blog post. So I'm going to simply say comments should be equal to posts. Equal to this it's going to be equal to this current post we have here, posts dot comments underscore set dot all. Understand? So same post dot comment underscore set dot all. So the comment is coming from the name of the comments class. Understand? So I hope you understand that. So so what we just did in the views.py is this: we are trying to get all the comments for a specific blog post. Understand? So just save now. I'm going to add this comment to the dictionary. So that's it now. So I'm going to add some comments through the admin section before we start adding from the front end. So let's go to the admin section. Let's see how this is going to work. So let's visit the admin.py, the admin section. So I'm gonna call this, let's say admin. So now let's add some comments. I'm going to add about 2 comments to a particular blog. Add comments. So now I'm going to say for the, let's add for the send email blog post. I'm going to simply say thank you. This this content or this tutorial was really helpful. So I'm going to simply save this. So let's go down to the browser again. So we're gonna we're gonna check out read more for the send email with Django. So scroll down. Okay, just under here. Okay, for the read more.html, where we have the comments. So just here, I'm gonna simply run the comments. I'm gonna simply do this for comments in comments. So I'm gonna end for here. So I'm gonna remove all these. They're not necessary. They're not needed. Okay. So we're gonna end our for loop just beneath here. I'm gonna simply say end for. So after that, I'm gonna put in the actual comments here. Say comments dot body. Perfect. You can see we have thanks. This tutorial was really helpful. I added the comment from the Django admin section, and I also want to add the name of the commenter. So we're going to get the name of the commenter from his username. That means the user would have been logged into the blog. Would have been logged in, but user is not logged in. We're going to return anonymous user as the name of the commenter. So let's do that right now. So for the name of the commenter, I'm going to simply put in here request.user. Let's say request.user. So now refresh. You can see I have cleans there because I'm logged in. If I'm logged out, what you're going to have is anonymous user. So now you can see I add the blog from the admin section. That's not the best way. We should enable readers add through this field we have here, to this text area field. Understand? So we are going to introduce Django forms to this tutorial right now. So you can be able to add comments from the front end. Understand? So now this comment is just for this particular blog. For this particular blog, sending emails with Django. So if I go down to other blog posts, this comment won't be there. So let's prove that right now. So /blog. So go down to Django login system, read more. You can see there's no comment there. See, the comment is, you're going to make sure that the comment is for specific blogs, not for the whole blogs. Understand? So let's do that right now. So now we're going to create a file called forms.py. You can call this file any name, the name, whichever name you like. So I'm going to call my form. So it's a Django form that's going to enable us create form from the front end that sends data to the back end. Understand? So now, so create this file in your root directory. So I'm going to call it forms.py. Sorry, it's not as in. So I'm going to simply say forms.py. Okay, so I'm going to close some of these. So now we're in the forms.py now. So I'm going to import forms. So say from Django import forms. After doing this, we need to also import the. We're going to also import the model class. We want to save the comments to, we're going to say from dot models. It's going to say from dot models import comments. So what I'm going to do now, I made a mistake. This form should be created instead of a blog app. Remember, it should be in the blog app and not in the projects directory. It should be in our app. It should be in the blog app. So let's drag and drop. So let's drag and drop it into the blog app. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to delete this forms.py from here. That is not the right place. It should be created. It should be created inside of the app. So move to recycle bin. So instead of our app now, I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to call this forms.py. So that's it now. So it's here instead of the blog app. So we're going to import forms. Let's say from Django.forms import forms. So after that now we're going to also import the model class we want to save to. We're going to say from dot models import comments. Okay, so after that, so that's all we need to do for now. So we're going to create a class. We're going to call this class comment form, and this comment form is going to inherit from forms dot model. Going to be from forms dot model admin. So that's it. So starting that now, we're going to create class meta, a class of meta, and it's going to be equal to, we're going to assign the model we want to save to. Model is comment, and the fields, and also after the model, we're going to also assign the fields. So we're going to say equal, it's going to be equal to a list of fields, and this field is going to be called the texts or body from our models.py file. What was it called again? Because it's called body. So this will use field we need. So now after doing this now, okay, so that's all we need to do now. So we just simply save. Now we're going to copy. So we're going to copy this comment form into our views.py. Before I continue, so I saw a mistake. So we're going to import forms from Django and not from Django.forms. So it's from Django import forms. So that's it. So now what I'm going to do now, so we're going to go down to our views.py file. So I'm going to import the comment form. I'm going to simply say from .forms import comment form to save. So we're going to go down to this read more view. So after that, now we're going to create this form variable called, we're going to create this form variable that points to the comment form. Okay, that's it now. So now we're going to listen for a post request. Whenever a user clicks on the submit button, want a certain action to take place, we're going to simply say if request dot method is equal to post. And before we continue, we're going to also create a variable called new comments. I'm going to call this variable new comments. It's going to be equal to none for now. Okay, so now I'm going to listen for a post request. So if the user clicks on the submit button, instead I'm trying to submit a comment. So if the user wants to submit a comment, so if the user clicks on the submit button, so the value of our form is going to change. It's going to simply be form is going to be equal to comment form with the data in the form field. So form equal to comment form request dot post. after I've done this now, we also, this is our new comments. It's going to be equal to, this a new comment. It's going to be equal to form.save. But we're not going to really save this form here. So we're going to simply say commit should be equal to false. We're not going to save it yet. Understand? So we are saying the new comment should be the actual, should be the saved. New comment should be the I don't know how to really explain this right now. New comment is going to be the comment that you're about to save to the database. Understand? From the form. So after that, now we're going to assign the posts. The posts, you can see we have a particular post here, a particular blog post. So we're going to assign the blog. We're going to assign this comment post here to these comments, to the new comments. Now I'm going to simply say new underscore comments dot posts is going to be equal to this post we have up here. Understand? So as I said earlier, we're trying to save to the database the contents of the form field. So now we're not actually saving this comment equal to false. No, it's not going to enable it. It's not going to allow it to save. Before it saves, we're going to assign this current post to the comments we're about to add to the database. And after that, we're going to save. We're going to simply say new comment dot save. So that's all we need to do now. Okay, so now we're going to put in this, put in the form in this context dictionary. Form going to be equal to form. So go down to the read mode.html. So I'm going to simply say form. So when we have the form field, okay, that's up here. So we're going to put this down. Okay, so now once you like put in the actual form, I'm going to simply come here. So I'm going to comment this out. Okay, so for doing that, so I'm going to put in this form field down. So now we're going to comment this text area out. And we're going to put in form.body. So that's what we need to do now. We can see there's an error on that. There's an error that is showing up here. It says Django.forms has no attributes model admin. So let's go down. Let's see our forms.py. This should be called model form and not model admin. Sorry for the mistake. Forms.model form, not model admin. Sorry for that. So after doing this now, I'm going to go down to our read mode.html. We're going to add we're going to add a post request, a method of posts to the form. I'm going to say method should be equal to posts. After doing this now, I'm also going to add the submit button. I'm going to simply say button type should be equal to submit, and okay, we're going to put in the value as submit. So that's what we need to do now. So after I accept, no, it's a post request. This is a post request. So we are going to add our CXRF token. It should be a single parenthesis. No, add the CXRF underscore token. So that's all we need to do now. So save your work now. So get onto the browser. Let's see how this looks like. Refresh the page. So go down to the end. You can see our form is looking so ugly. Understand? So that's because we've not added the styles. You can see from this text area here, you can see that this text area has a class of form control. It has the rows of 3 and a placeholder. Understand? So we need to add these styles to our own, to this Django form we have here. We need to add the styles. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So now let's go down to the forms, to our forms.py, and add this class to the body field. Understand this body field. So we want to add the class of form control, the row of 3, the placeholder. So let's go down to the forms of pi. So this is our body field. Now we're going to style it with Django using Bootstrap. We're going to simply say body, that's the name of the field. It's going to be equal to models dot character field or char field. Not model, it's going to be forms rather. Forms dot character field. I'm going to give it a max length. Let's say max length is going to be equal to, let's say, 500. We're going to give it the widgets should be equal to forms dot text area, and after that we're going to open a parenthesis and attributes attrx going to be equal to this dictionary, and the first one is going to be our class, and the class is form control from what we have on our templates. If you see it here, you can see it's form control. So let's add our placeholder. So I want to see I'm going to copy out the placeholder string. This is called comment. So copy that out. So we're going to go down to, okay, we're going to add, let's add a rows first. A rows that shows the width or the height of the comment, or the width. It shows how high the comment will be. So let's add the rows. We're going to add the rows of 3. Rows should be 3, and after this now we're going to also add our placeholder. So that's what we need to do now. So go down to the browser again and refresh the page. You can see this comment will have changed. You can see the comment is looking beautiful again. So now our button is not looking any fine at all. So come down to the read more where we have the button. So now we're going to add bootstrap classes to this button. So I'm going to simply say class should be btn. Class should be equal to, I'm going to say btn primary. So save. I also want the width to be 100%. So I'm going to give it this. I'm going to say style should be equal to, I want to make sure the width of the button is 100%. So let's say width 100%. So save now, and to the browser, refresh the page. Okay, that's looking good. So you can see the input field and the button are so close to each other. Let's add a little margin top to this button. Let's say margin top. Let's just say 20 pixels. So save. So refresh the page. Oh no, it's not looking good. Okay, it should be a semicolon. So save. Okay, that's nice now. So we've been able to style our form, and we've not even checked if this is going to actually save to our database. So let's see. So I'm going to say, wow, this is super interesting. I'll simply say, this is super interesting. Thanks a lot. So submit. Okay, refresh the page. It refresh. So scroll down. Perfect. You can see it says, wow, this is super interesting. Thanks a lot. And this comment is only for this particular blog post. It's only for Django authentication. So if I try going back, so I'm going to add my index view, the index URL to this start bootstrap, so you can be able to, so it can be easy for us to navigate through the pages. So I'm going to simply do that right now. Here's the start bootstrap. So let's simply add the index URL here. So the send sign URL index. So save. So refresh. enter. So go back to the home page. So as I said earlier, that comment I added there is only for the Django authentication. So look out for the sending emails with Django. You can see it has its own comment. This one I added from the admin section. Understand? So I'm going to add one more here. I'm going to say thanks a lot. So submit. So scroll down. Oh no, there's an error. It works, but you can see the HTML is kind of broken. So I'm going to fix that right now. So let's see if we take up this N4 upward a bit, a step forward. So paste it here and let's see if it's gonna cause any change. So refresh the page, enter. Oh no, the simple was than it was. So Ctrl Z. So let's try this. Let's take this a step backward. Let's hope it works this time around. So let's see it's looking good. So refresh, enter. Perfect. Okay, you can see it's better than it. So it's fine. Everything is fine now. Okay, so you can see, but I don't want this thanks a lot to still show on this input field. I don't want it. So I'm going to simply alter that to Django right now. Go down to your views.py. So whenever a user adds a comment and submit the comment, I want the form field to be empty. So I'm going to do that in views.py right now. So after the comment has been saved, so I want to return an HTTP response redirect. So I'm going to really import that right now. I'm going to say from Django.http import HTTP response redirect, and I'm also going to import reverse. Or from where is reverse coming from? I'm going to say from Django. So we can import reverse from Django.urls, import reverse. So that's what I need now. So scroll down. So just here. So we're going to return an HTTP response redirect. This is just like the normal dynamic URL we use in the templates. Understand? This one we use this one in the views.py. So that's what. So now I'm going to simply say return HTTP response redirect. So we're going to have the reverse. So as I said, this works exactly like what we have on the templates. It works exactly like this. I'm going to show you that. Let's start from the index.html. So you can see this URL we have here that works here. This URL we have here. I'm doing the same thing in the views. Understand? There are different syntaxes, but they do the same thing. This is for the templates. And what I'm doing currently in the views is how we configure it in the views part. So you're going to say return HTTP response to direct. So you're going to say reverse. We're going to reverse is going to be, so we're going to pick up our first argument is going to be what the URL, the dynamic URL. So we want this dynamic URL called read more. So that's it now. So paste it here, and we're going to also do a keyword ask. It's going to be equal to dictionary, and it's going to be equal to slug. So save your work. So this is what we need to do now. So I'm going to go back to the home page. So let's add a comment to our deploy Django on heroku. So this tutorial, we'll simply say this tutorial was helpful. So submit. You can see it was added. This tutorial was helpful, and our input field is empty. You can see what that does now. Everything is working super fine now. So we've come to the end of this Django comment section. So in the next video, we're going to work on deploying our Postgres database on AWS, Amazon Web Services. After doing that, we're also going to after deploying our Postgres database on Amazon Web Services (AWS), we're going to now deploy the Django project on heroku. We're going to have it live on heroku. So that's going to be the next video. So watch out for that video. So thank you for watching this video all through. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. So we'll meet in the next video. So thank you.